Welcome to the International Spaceflight Museum. I'm Michael McCurdy, and I'll be taking you on a tour of this Second Life virtual world. The International Spaceflight Museum gives us certain virtual experiments that we can use, such as this robotic arm, which is controlled much like the robotic arm on the space shuttle, so we can experience what astronauts in outer space must have to do to configure satellites and place them in proper order. This spaceflight museum, since it's a virtual world, allows us to see and perceive the enormity and scale of the human body compared to these wonderful machines that were created for spaceflight. Speaking of flight, I'm going to take a quick jaunt over here to the inside of the museum. I like to fly in Second Life because it's a quick way of traveling for me. Second Life virtual museum, such as this International Spaceflight Museum, allows us to watch videos for not just myself, but if I were to bring in another student or classmates or fellow members from my Second Life community. By pressing these control buttons here on the bottom, we can start movies on this wonderful Second Life movie generator
light
in front of us.
Means energy. But when we think of energy, we think of a lot of light, and a lot of fuel, and a lot of energy.
Additional movies, such as Frozen Earth, Energy Evolution, can all be played on this United States 09 Copenhagen display. But for now, we will pause this movie using the controls at the bottom or simply stop. Second Life also affords us the same type of wonderful information testing that real-world museums have by giving us trivia challenges. By clicking on these trivia challenge cards, we can bring up a game card and begin playing. Bear in mind I have not gone through this, so many of these will be guessworks for me. Like the first card, Chvogowski described how to use what kind of rocket. I'm assuming a multi-stage rocket, and at the bottom I got the correct answer it shows. Now, if for some reason you cannot guess properly, which we shouldn't be guessing in a museum anyways, the museum affords us the ability to acquire the knowledge about the person or persons or items that we were questioned on. Here's Konstantin Chvogowski's biographical information here. By clicking on his sign, and that you're going to keep his card, you get information on him that you may not gather simply using other resources. It does say that he wrote about space stations, rocket equations, and most importantly for the game, he described how to use multi-stage rockets. Keep that card for future reference. Robert Goddard was an American inventor or scientist for rockets, I believe. He was an American scientist and professor who pioneered liquid-fueled rockets. All this information is much like what we see in a real-life museum. Flying upwards to the various rocket displays, we get to see exhaust fuel here being taken off or coming out of the rocket. We get to see the scale in comparison and the wonderful inventions that mankind has made over the past 100 or so years of rocket science. Flying through the International Spaceflight Museum affords us the ability to see various experiences and experience a virtual world in a way that we may not have the ability to experience the real world. Going through, we have the National Physical Laboratory, as well as inventions used for spaceflight and travel. Virtual worlds allow us the same type of benefits as real world by showing us where various objects are inside of our landscape. By simply going to a directory, we can navigate visually where we would like to go to gain more knowledge about our subject area. Thank you for joining me today. I'll see you later.